Hey everybody, what is up? It's Old Surf Dad. I make videos in the World Surf League here on YouTube, and today we're talking about the WSL Finals. As we know, the top 5 men and top 5 women surfers compete in a one-day, finals day, winner-take-all battle for the world title. Now in this video, I've gone all Moneyball and got some serious stats for you all on all the surfers. I've also broken down Trestles and the Surf Report, and finally, I'm going to make my championship picks. But first, let's check out the Surf League. So we have a WSL Fantasy Surf League around here, and you can join. Just go to oldsurfdad.com for all the details. Now let's congratulate the winner from the Corona Open Mexico, which was Taking Scalps. And did he ever? We're talking about 7th in the world, not just in our league. He straight up won our league with 939 points, but he placed 7th in the world. Big congratulations to you, Taking Scalps. Also rounding out the top 5 was former winner, Green Room Farter. In 3rd place was Refshis Florida. I can't say your name, but I know that you're new to our league, and a 3rd place finish in your first run is very respectable. We also have consistent league players, Reno in 4th, and AJ Garcia in 5th. Congratulations, everybody. And especially to Taking Scalps. Not only did I get you this cool Stab t-shirt, but I got you this pineapple drink from my recent surf trip. Does anyone know where this is? How about if I give you a couple clues? Check it out. Oh wait, brief intermission. While you're looking at clips and trying to figure out where I went on my surf trip, check out what just came in the mail today. That's right, the Old Surf Dad Hall of Fame Fantasy Trophy for the overall winner. So this is what you'll get. I'm looking at the top 3 right now, Revolta, Reno, Johnny 5. You're up for this, but there's also Rory, Smells, Keps, and Keddy Tot right behind you. So whoever has the highest score for the year gets this trophy. It's going to be engraved, it's going to have your name on it, and all that good stuff. We'll have the same thing for 2022, and there's more news coming on that. Stay tuned. All right, back to the video. Let me know in the comments below if you know where this secret spot is. Speaking of secret spots, let's check out the Trestles Surf Report. Here's your surf report for Trestles for the waiting period between September 9th and September 17th. Now, lower Trestles in mid-September has great waves. Would I rather be crowning champions in the water in the Mentawai Islands? Obviously, but we could do a lot worse than lower Trestles in mid-September. Now today is September 1st, and we have a run of small south-southwest swells in the water. But if we take our Surfline slider up to the waiting period and look at that, we have a swell. We have actually a solid swell between the 11th and the 13th. And I would say, looking at what I see here, that Sunday, September 12th, could be the day. They're calling for double overhead waves. I think will definitely be contestable and certainly worthy of crowning champions in a pandemic-starved season. I'm looking forward to this event. I think there's going to be some high-performance surfing. Let's go ahead and get into the championship surfers, starting with the women. So here's your women's final 5, and the first thing I notice is who's not on the list. One is Caroline Marks, who I thought was going to do really well this year, and the other is former world champion Tyler Wright. However, all these women have earned the right to compete for the title. Let's look at their results. Starting with Joanne DeFay, you may recall she won the Jeep Surf Ranch Pro and was runner-up at Rottnest. Next, we have Steph Gilmore, who just won Mexico and was runner-up at Margaret River. Next, in 3rd place, Sally Fitzgibbons, who won Rottnest. Coming in second, Tatiana Weston Webb, who won Margaret River and was runner-up in Narrabeen. And at the number 1 spot, we have Olympic gold medalist Carissa Moore, who won at Newcastle, you may remember the air, and was also runner-up at Pipe and at Surf Ranch. The other thing I noticed was that Carissa was not as dominant as I thought she was, and each of these women have a shot at the title. You may also notice that Steph Gilmore and Joanne Defay actually have the same number of points. They actually tied, but Steph won the tiebreaker with a greater average heat score overall. Let's look at how these women have performed at Trestles. So here's the women's Trestles results, and I don't want to bore you too much with the numbers, but I want to give you these main takeaways. Number 1 is that both Steph and Carissa have won here. In 2014, Steph actually beat Sally with a 10 and a 9.5. In 2015, Carissa won at Trestles, in what was an Olympic preview. She beat Bianca Buitentag in the finals. I think the big takeaway here is that Carissa and Steph have big win percentages here, but all the women have experience surfing Trestles. All right, so let's get to it. Let's make our women's picks. All right, so here's what the brackets look like. And first up, we have Steph Gilmore versus Joanne Defay. If you look at the stats, head-to-head, Steph is 3-0, but Joanne is having the best season of her career. Still, I'm going to pick Steph. Next is Sally versus Steph. Steph is 13-6 against Sally, but she's 8-1 in the last 9 matchups. And one of Sally's losses was right here at Trestles in the finals to Steph. I'll take Steph again. Tati versus Steph. This is a great matchup. They're 4-4 and have traded heat wins back and forth. In the last matchup, it was Steph winning in Mexico against Tati. So I guess it's Tati's turn. I'm going to go with Tati and ruin everyone's hopes and dreams of this being this perfect match of world champions. And yes, even with Steph riding her magic board. Now Tati versus Carissa. Carissa is 6-4 in this matchup. And this is a tough match for each of them. And no easy win for Carissa. Their most recent matchup was Tati knocking out Carissa in Narrabeen this year. I could see this going all 3 matches, but I'll take Carissa for the sweep. All right, so here's the men's final 5. And the first thing that I notice is the dominant season that Gabriel Medina has had. He's a full 12,000 points ahead of the next competitor, which is Idolo Ferreira. The last time something like this happened was John in his dominant season over Jordy Smith in 2016. And then before that, you'd have to go all the way back to 2010 and 11 when Kelly Slater pretty much smoked everybody on tour for his last 2 championship titles. So let's talk about number 4 and number 5. How the heck are Connor Coffin and Morgan Sabilik in the top 5 when they didn't win an event? Well, they earned it with consistent results. If you remember, Connor Coffin beat Idolo, resulting in the board stomp in Narrabeen, and made it to the finals against Gabriel Medina. And then Morgan Sabilik went on a tear in Australia, making quarters, semis, and a finals against Gabriel Medina at Rottnest. And remember, along the way, he beat John Florence twice. At number 3, Felipe Toledo had a slow start, but he surprisingly won Margaret River and followed that up with a Jeep Surf Ranch Pro win. Idolo Ferreira at number 2 beat Gabriel Medina in the finals at Newcastle, if you remember that air show. He was also consistent this season, making the quarters or better in all of the events. If you remember back at the beginning of the Oz leg, he looked absolutely unbeatable. And let's not forget, he's got a gold medal. And finally at number 1, Gabriel Medina's performance this year has been dominant. He's made every finals this year except for 2, and he won both Narrabeen and Rottnest. Let's look at how these guys stack up at Trestles. When looking at the men's Trestles results, Felipe Toledo is the clear winner. He's the only one that's had a victory here at Trestles in the 2017 Hurley Pro, and his heat win percentage is 73%. My other takeaway is that Gabriel Medina has had 7 CT events here and not had the usual dominance you would expect Gabby to have, especially in a high-performance wave like this. Idolo's only surfed 3 CT events here, and his numbers look decent, not great. Connor Coffin, on the other hand, has struggled. His heat win percentage is only 22%. I think when it comes to surfing Trestles, Felipe Toledo has a clear advantage here. Not to mention that he lives in San Clemente, and you could almost call it his home break. All right, so let's make some men's championship picks. So first up, we have Morgan Sabilik taking on Connor Coffin And I have no stats for Morgan Sibilic at Trestles because he's never surfed a CT event here, but I don't think he's going to have any problem with this wave. His high-performance surfing and gouging turns are going to look really good on this face. Now, I know I should be choosing Connor Coffin for his rail surfing and old-school approach, not to mention that he's America and I should be all USA, but I'm going to have to go with Morgs on this one because he just has some extra magic in his surfing that I think is going to win him the heat. Let's go with Morgan Sibilic. Next up, Morgan Sibilic takes on Felipe Toledo, and all that magic in his surfing is not going to be enough to get past Felipe. It's not just that Felipe's a local here, it's not just that he's won here before, but it's that Morgs won't be able to compete with the repertoire that Felipe is going to throw at him. The difference is going to be air game, and I'm going to take Felipe. Next up is Felipe Toledo versus Idolo Ferreira. This is dead even in my eyes, and so is their head-to-head matchup. They're 4-4. A lot of people are taking Felipe to go all the way, and I can totally see that. But my gut is telling me to take Idolo. This will be an incredible heat, and I can't wait to watch it. All right, the title match, Idolo Ferreira versus Gabriel Medina. Surprisingly, Idolo holds the head-to-head advantage at 7-4. But that's not why I'm taking Idolo. I'm taking Idolo because he steps up in pressure situations. He's great in big heats and in big events. He has a gold medal for a reason. In the best 2 out of 3, this will go all 3 heats, but in the end, Idolo will win, and the WSL Finals conspiracies and controversies will begin. Let's go. So you may be wondering, how are they going to score my fantasy team? Well, I'm wondering the same thing. I've reached out to WSL. They have not responded to me. And as of September 1st, this is what I get. So here's a typical page we would have, this one from the Corona Open Mexico event. And when I go to the WSL Finals, I see nothing. There's no information. There's no way to pick. It says 12 active surfers. So they've obviously done no construction here yet, but I'm sure it's coming. We have one more week till the event starts, and they do give a cryptic message here in the rule book. Let's check it out. So if I go back to the fantasy main page and click on the fantasy surfing rules, and then scroll all the way down to where it says WSL Finals, they have this sentence that tells us everything we know right now. The fantasy format for the WSL Finals will be a modified bracket challenge with scoring based on the correct number of heat picks. So obviously we need to pick the winners. We just don't know what the scores are going to be for each one. Hey WSL, if you want, you can steal my scoring system I use for the Olympics. Check it out. All right, everybody, that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and good luck in the WSL Finals.